All right, guys. Woo! We're here with member of the month. We're here with Moska. And guys, if you've been following us for a while, you know that Moska was on one of our episodes a little while ago about it was called Chaos, Culture, and Cooking.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And Moska and I were cooking some bologna, and we also got to learn a lot about her research because she's an archivist and a researcher, and also very good at doing biceps curls in our Fleek Physique program every Tuesday and Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. guys. So Moska, let's get to know you a little bit. How old are you, and how would you describe yourself?
Thank you. I'm 32 years old. I'm Afghan. I came here with my family like many years ago, 1999. I was a kid when we came here. I live and breathe research, basically, specifically community engaged research. So I'm really interested in doing work with and for my community, the Afghan communities in Canada, which led me to do a PhD. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Toronto, specifically in archival studies, and I'm looking to interview and record the oral histories, life stories basically, of Afghans in Canada, and like put it up on a digital archive or digital platform. That's the crux of my research, basically.
That's super interesting. Now tell us about what is the most difficult part about your work, and what is the most fulfilling part of it as well?
Okay, that's a really good question. I would say the most difficult part is speaking with people and learning and really absorbing people's trauma. I'm like an empath. Like if people have feelings, I'm going to feel it too. It's really pretty bad. But because I'm asking people about their life stories, a lot of Afghans have a lot of traumatic journeys to Canada, as many of them are refugees. So that's been really difficult for my own sanity and mental health. But it's also super fulfilling because many people have said after interviews, for example, that they often were never asked certain questions about their life or their experiences, and they've felt, some of them have felt really they felt they finally had an avenue to really speak and talk about what's on their mind, and it's been really nice to connect with a lot of such a varied amount of people with so many different perspectives that I just never knew existed within my own community. So it's been really fulfilling to make those connections with people.
That's why it's so important to get to the gym, guys. You can release all that stress. So now tell us about your health and how what has changed in your overall health and wellness since coming to Sister Fit.
Thank you. So I think I've seen really obvious physical changes in my body, which has been really nice. I previously doing exercises and working out by myself was not easy to do that by myself and learn how to work out for my body. I think that's really crucial, learning how to work out for what works best for your body. And doing that by myself, I never really saw much results. I would often just work out. I'll have a burst of motivation for a little while and then just fall off. But coming here has been really great for my accountability, being accountable to people, being accountable to you, of course, but also the people around me as well, because I think I felt that this sort of camaraderie and we're doing this together, and so that's been really helpful. But yeah, absolutely, the mental health part is so important. I think I didn't realize how important working out was for my mental health, and now that I'm doing my research, going to the gym is actually part of my care protocols that I take care of myself as a researcher. I'm not even joking.
Oh, that's awesome.
I identified it with my supervisor, like I really need to go to the gym and be consistent with it, and this place really allows me to do that and make sure that I'm definitely releasing all of that, but also just the being able to be intentional about taking care of myself is something that I learned to do these programs as well.
Now, Moska, obviously you're very, can I say authentically proud of your roots?
Yes.
And so share your favorite Afghan dish with us.
Okay, so this may be controversial because I feel like for Afghans, a lot of people will say like mantu or something, which is also a really great dish. It's like a dumpling. But my favorite dish is korme kofta, so like beef kofta, like meatballs basically. But the way we make it, plus rice. That's my favorite dish. I don't think you can go wrong with it. My mom, for me, my mom makes the best korme kofta ever. I do my best, do as best as I can to be as close to her kind of kofta, but yeah, growing up, I think that was always my comfort food. Like my mom could like whip it up. It's not fast to make, but it's like a labor of like love, and I think that's been like something that was passed down from my mom to me, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, which was important for me to learn how to make too, so I can also pass down.
Yeah, she also brought a little bit for me, so I'm very excited to try it later on. Moska, tell us a little bit more about your work, because you also are the founder of MICA.
Oh, yes.
Muslims in Canada
Archive.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. So I'm the founding archivist for the Muslims in Canada Archive, which is actually housed at the University of Toronto, specifically at the Institute of Islamic Studies at the University of Toronto. So I was hired there to be like the founder of the archive essentially. So my director hired me to make an archive from scratch. And the point of the archive is to just connect with Muslims in Canada, specifically since we're in the GTA. We've focused mostly on the GTA, but MICA has spread out a lot across the country. So far, we're there to connect with Muslims, tell them that they matter and that they matter within the fabric of like Canada's historical record, because most of Canadian history is like so, I guess, European or white, and that we don't have a lot of multiculturalism in Europe when we learn Canadian history. So the Muslims in Canada Archive tries to preserve the primary sources, those original documents, the stories, the photographs, the videos, home movies of Muslims in Canada, so that researchers, artists, anybody that's interested about in Muslims and their lives in Canada since we first came here in the 1800s to now, they can come to the archive. Right now we have like MICA has a lot of material from like pretty big names from like the 60s and the 70s, like most the early Muslim history in Toronto specifically, but they have expanded to like BC, so there are collections being brought into the archive from BC as well, a little bit from Montreal. So it's like slowly like we're trying really hard to like get to the rest of the country. But right now, the big focus is in the GTA.
Now, Moska, let's focus a little bit more on you. So, I remember from our episode, you said that you immigrated here when you were 6 years old,
Yes.
and you went to Winnipeg. No?
Vancouver.
Oh, Vancouver, okay. No Winnipeg.
No.
You were in Vancouver.
Yes.
And you tell me a little bit about that. It's like you were there for how long, and then when did you come here?
Okay. So when my family first came to Canada, we came as refugees, and we came to Vancouver first. So I'm pretty sure I was 6 years old. And I lived there until like my undergrad, basically. Once I decided that I wanted to come to U of T, I moved to Toronto and started my undergrad there, and then also did my master's there, and now have stayed here. I live here now, and my family has also eventually moved to Toronto as well. But most of my childhood was all in Vancouver, specifically. Shout out to Burnaby. It's a small city right beside Vancouver. That's where I specifically grew up. But yeah, most of my childhood was in Burnaby. The Afghan community there is kind of small, but we made do. I also went to Afghan school. We were small, but we were able to come together enough of the adults came together to make a small, really informal school, and on Saturdays. So I had school from Monday to Saturday basically. I went to normal school, and on Saturdays I had to go to Afghan school, where we learned language, reading, writing, Quran, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, Moska, you've done so much research over the years
That's true.
On refugees, on Afghans.
Yeah.
What do you think is something you'd really like to share with everybody?
Okay, I think something that I had to kind of myself accept as I've been doing a lot of I've also done a lot of community organizing within the Afghan communities here in Toronto as well. So not just research, but with the community, but also a lot of community organizing. And some things I've had to learn, and really, it was really a hard pill to swallow, is that Afghans, and just like any other ethnic group, they have such varying perspectives. They have such varying political perspectives. They have so many different opinions on things, and there's no one homogenous sort of identity, one homogenous way of being Afghan. And I think that's really important, but something that I think communities don't always realize or want to accept. I think there's always this push to this is the one way of being Afghan, or this is the one way of being insert whatever ethnic group. But there's so many different ways of existing. Even I have my own politics, and it's been really eye-opening to see that even though I want something for the community and I believe it's best for the community, it's not the same for any other Afghans, right? They might want something else. I think that's been a really difficult...
So my question, what is the unifying thing for you guys?
That's a good question. What's the unifying thing? I don't think I don't know if there is much that can unify every single person. I know I can say shallow things like food,
Religion?
Not even religion, because we're also varied in terms of Shia Islam and Sunni Islam, and there's also
Ismailis,
yeah. Sikh Afghans, sorry. We've had Afghan Jewish folks. There's so much variety, and we can't even rally around that. And there's so much infighting as well. Some groups believe that this person is not Afghan, or this person is not Muslim, and blah blah blah, stuff like that. So I think that the thing that we can really, that we often rally behind is the easier things, like food, like clothes, like music, some cultural stuff that can sort of be unifying. But a lot of times there's so much diversity within the communities, but I think that's okay. I don't think you need to have unity all the time. I don't know if that's possible sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Now, Moska, in just a few minutes we're going to start our Fleek Physique program. So last question for you is, two questions. Okay. What is one of your pet peeves?
So in my family, we really hate people eating loudly. So I would probably say that. That's just it's such an interesting common family trait. We're such different people that definitely that.
Chew with your mouth closed,
yes,
guys, in front of Moska, especially.
Please.
And lastly, what would you say to someone who's like, watching you right now online, is considering getting to the gym and needs a little bit of motivation, inspiration?
I think I would say that it's okay to to occasionally, not have that motivation to get to the gym. It's not like, you have to be perfect at it. I think finding ways to be accountable to something, if you're like me especially, is really important. I think if you want to change, or you want to like push yourself to be a different person, I think that's been the motivation for myself, definitely. I think, it's really hard. I don't know, it's really hard because I think I had to go through so much to figure out what works for me, and I think all I want to say is that you have to do so much trial and error to figure out what's going to get you to come to the gym, and I think that's okay too. And for me, it was having the really good supportive women around me that will push me, and like also sometimes and tell us to like hurry up and and not to take too long breaks. But I think that's all I can say. I'm not sure. I can only speak to like my own experience, I think. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have a good answer to that question.
Woo! You can tell she's a researcher. It's like,
That's true.
Thank you so much, Moska. Guys, if you want to work out with Moska, Tuesday and Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m., Fleek Physique. Woo woo! Yeah.
Yeah.